Hello and welcome back. I'm going to do the 1330 Sidereal Tarot. I am in Las Vegas, Nevada. And right now it's 12:39 Sidereal time. So it'll be exact 13:30 Sidereal time at 4:54 a.m., which is 51 minutes from this moment. Since it's mainly an hour-long peak, we'll hit the increase in about 20 minutes, and then there will be the increase for about an hour, with its strongest moment being at the exact time of 13:30 Sidereal, which is at 4:54. I think I just said. What did I say? Hold on, maybe it was 4:52. Oh no, 4:54 a.m. All right. So let's see. Lesser Sky, what do you want to talk about? What is this 1330 Sidereal message about? What can you share with us that we need to know the most? Thank you for using my mind, my spirit, my vocal cords, and my body to channel these messages in the most effective and accurate way possible. There's an acknowledgement that you are an independent thinker. Okay, so I'm hearing that. You're an independent thinker, which is very important because people who are not independent thinkers are easy to fall susceptible to outside influence. They become like lemmings. They just follow the other right off of a cliff. Independent thinkers don't do that. And so independent thinkers can be feeling very alone, very isolated. Even when they're in a room full of people, even ones who they love, sometimes they feel very isolated because even their loved ones don't necessarily equate to being independent thinkers. I hear there could be a lot of, there's often many things that you like to speak about, but there's not really a sounding board for certain conversations because you're such an independent thinker. I heard you have that innate feeling that you should be cautious who you talk to about some of your ideas because everybody might not like them, accept them, or like you, or accept you for expressing them. Okay. You're going to see evidence in your physical experience. I hear you will be seeing evidence in your physical experience that a shift is taking place because that is going to go away and it's going to become, I heard, very novel. So some of you could even be writing a novel. But I heard it's going to be very novel. People will want to hear what you're talking about over the next several years to come. There's going to be more interest in some of these esoteric, occult, spiritual things that we talk about, okay? In other words, not the everyday, widely accepted knowledge. So, Lesser Scott, what do you want to say about this experience for the 1330? What's the message for the 1330 Sidereal time message? Please and thank you. Where are you taking us with this? Show me what's happening. Okay, so what's happening? The Two of Pentacles. There's a change. There's a change. They're showing me the timeline jumping card that had come out in the last download that I did. Okay, there's a change happening. Okay, it's bringing balance in. To create balance, a change is necessary. I heard you can find a lot of people at this time torn between this and that, finding themselves in a position where they need to make a choice between one and the other. Are you going? I heard you can be in the world and not be part of the world. Okay, so some here need to make a choice. Are you going to be a part of the world or a part of the world? And they're actually showing it to me. And they want me to make a card to show you the energy as I'm seeing it. All right. So apart or apart. Okay. As in the world, be in the world, but not a part of it. Interesting. So they're showing me with the double meanings there, it could go either way. And I heard it, and it does go both ways. Like you can be in the world and not be a part of it. You can be in the world and not be separate from it. You can be in the world and not be party to what's going on. Interesting. So there's something here that has something to do with this decision, finding balance. Okay, that's coming up here. Two of Pentacles. I hear the separating of the wheat from the chaff. Goodness. Okay. So separating of the wheat from the chaff. I heard, does that put the wheat and the chaff in opposition? Not really. Okay. Interesting. So you don't have to be in opposition to that which is not you. You do not have to be in opposition, okay, to that which does not resonate with you. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Because what you resist persists. What you resist persists. What you embrace, you can erase. Okay. Interesting. Okay. My brother's like, you should totally write all this. I'm like, dude, if I spent my time writing all of this, I would never have time to channel any of this. Of course, the message would come out different, but what I do would probably not get done. I'd be buried in my laptop and my notes all day. Excuse me. I asked them if they wanted me to do this to take care of this nose issue I got going on right now. So we'll see if that clears up. Either way, the message must go on. So, all right. The wheat versus the chaff. Why do they bring out, you do not have to be in opposition to that which does not resonate with you. You don't have to be in opposition because what you resist persists. If you sit in here trying to chase something away and make it go away, the very fact that you're giving it attention means it must exist. It means it must exist. And there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation out there, I'm hearing, to mislead you, to get you to put your attention back on that which is not beneficial to you. A lot. There are a lot of books that are pushed. A lot of lecturers that are promoted to get you to refocus again on that which you would rather not have in your experience. But by your very focus on it, it must exist. They're showing me a YouTube video that I recently watched, and it was talking about scientists were measuring light waves, and they noted when people would look at the light waves got into a formation, but when people weren't looking at them, they did their own thing. They like fractalized and they split up everywhere. It was really interesting. So, and this brings back that weird question, like if a tree falls in the forest and there's nobody there to hear it, does it really fall? And then if you've ever seen the Mandela Effect movie, they talk about how in a game, for example, unused areas of the gameplay screen, when the player is not engaged in those areas, are not being activated in the memory on the computer on the game console because it takes up too much memory. So they go dormant. They go into nothingness until those areas are activated because the player is actually viewing them. There's a lot of changes happening. So some stuff will be deactivated. Certain things will be deactivated from your reality, okay? Because you won't be focusing on them. Why does that matter? Because these are things, since you haven't focused on them, they're not active for you. Like, you got to understand. So it's for your lack of focus that certain things become deactivated, okay? And it is for your point of focus that certain things become activated. All right. How will these Two of Pentacles energy affect Gaia? And we have the Hierophant here coming out. So how these Two of Pentacles energies will affect Gaia is the Hierophant. The Hierophant is a teacher. I heard Gaia is teaching us wisdom. So, oh, snap. As I heard this, I just had an image flash through my mind. Couldn't begin to tell you where it was at. But there was this TikTok that's going around. And it's about quartz crystals that are being pushed up out of the asphalt, out of the road. So there's paved asphalt road, right? And you can see it in the video there that all this dude's like uncurrent is big old chunks of quartz crystal being pushed up out of the road. So it's some like Gaia is showing its spiritual authority because the Hierophant is a spiritual authority. Gaia is setting a new tradition, okay? Gaia is setting a new tradition. Now, what's a tradition? It's something that is maintained over extended periods of time, like generations, right? It's a practice. It's a way of being that is. So Gaia is setting new traditions. And Gaia is teaching a lot of lessons right now. Gaia is teaching us lessons. Okay. We're going to dig into this some more. Let me see what's going on. How does this affect all of our political system? How does this affect our political system? Okay, I am holding the whole deck in reverse. So we're going to see, we're going to go ahead and upright it. The King of Cups. But I did see it in reverse first. Okay, so I just asked a card, do you want to be upright or reversed? And it says reversed. Okay. King of Cups, not. So how's the political system doing with this finding balance that Source is bringing into Earth, and Gaia is establishing it as a tradition? And if you look, Source is looking to Gaia. And I don't know if you can make that out on the screen, but the eyes of this character is looking straight over here from where I'm sitting. They don't like it. Political system. Emotional manipulation. Fuck. Okay, so this is fear mongering, fear propaganda, propaganda in general. From what I understand, propaganda is like false news that is spread to influence people's feelings and emotions. Emotional manipulation. Totally emotional manipulation there. Okay. Let me just see what the official definition is of propaganda. Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote or publicize a particular political cause or point of view. Okay, so yes, propaganda. All right. And emotional, the point of the propaganda is emotional manipulation to get into your feelings. Okay. So, a conversation I had with my daughter at one point was geared around the idea that the reason why they use the method of revelation, which is where the powers that were must reveal their agenda, and it must be accepted by humanity in order for it to succeed, is because if they can promote that agenda of fear, it makes people more easily to control, because now they're looking for an authority figure to step up and take control, to take care of them, to provide, to tell them what the fuck to do. Why? Because they're not independent thinkers. Okay. So a big message for you is that you are an independent thinker. That came in the channel message, okay, at the beginning during the original shuffle. So Source says it's time to bring balance. Okay. And this source message just said something else to me. You're going to find a lot more gray areas where everything was black and white, good or bad, right or wrong. There's going to be a lot more realization, and there already has been, that even though duality exists, it's still all oneness. Okay. So people being aware that even the ugly things that happen for a reason, and everything that happens for a reason. It's more about what are we going to do with the experience, is what Spirit is saying. Okay, about that source message. What are we going to do with the experience? We can waste our time looking at it as good or bad, or realize how one influences the other. Out of some of the most horrific things that Earth has seen, I hear, out of some of the most horrific things that Earth has seen, have come some of the most beautiful things that humans have done. Okay. Think about any tragedy or natural disaster that has happened. And they give me the air quotes around natural disasters because they're bringing up that what appears to be a lot of natural disasters is actually man-made, okay, in our time. And they're showing me snow that doesn't melt. Okay, snow that burns and doesn't melt. It smolders, but it doesn't melt. So they're showing me that in my mind's eye. Okay. To affect the point of focus of humanity, okay, so that they'll be more controllable. But what's happening is a lot more people are understanding the law of rhythm, for example, where things that go one way must go the other way. And, the extremity is it goes that way, is the extremity it's going to go the other way. So if you understand that bit of the laws of the universe, then you understand that as bad as it has gotten, it's going to get that good. It's universal law. And somebody says, yeah, I've been waiting to see that. I ain't seen it yet. Well, I don't know what to tell you. You can give up on it if you want. You can continue to be skeptical if you want. But that's not what I'm going to do. I know that the laws of the universe apply and must apply. And that's why they're laws. And so the thing of it is, from the human perspective, living bound by years, okay, these things seem to take so long for you, okay, when in reality, it's a blink. It's a blink in the human experience, okay. So more balance is being found on earth, God says, as people are mastering their own duality, allowing the duality within to become harmonious instead of chaotic. Okay. The balance within the human itself, okay, within the sentient beings, okay, on earth, coming into harmony instead of chaos internally, as each one gets their own duality in a place of harmony within their self. This affects the balance on the entire planet. Each one of you actually contributes to specifically that as you harmonize your divine feminine and divine masculine aspects, understanding that they're interconnected and they work together to serve a purpose. We can also speak to the ego mind versus the spiritual mind, where they also both work to serve a purpose. And when you can bring the understanding and the workings of those into a place of harmony instead of contradiction and chaos, that is going to lend itself to the overall vibration of what's happening on earth. And those higher vibrating energies that are more accepting, more allowing, and more in their creative stance than their mirrored stance, reflection, projection stance, they are able to raise the percentage of the higher vibration of humanity on earth. Each one of you contributes greatly to that, because one vibrating at a higher frequency has more effect than one that vibrates at a lower frequency. Okay. All right. So if politics doesn't like this and they're trying their emotional propaganda, emotional manipulation, propaganda. So be, if it's on the major press, you want to just be more aware that there could be some, spreading of ideas that are not always based in truth. And that's been proven time and time and time and time. Oh, and time and time and time again. How many years did they deny the existence of extraterrestrial beings? And now the Congress has been having their whole hearings about specifically that, now admitting that that was all true. So how many people were killed? How many people were silenced? How many people's lives and families were destroyed behind them keeping those lies? Okay. And so now we're supposed to still believe everything they say, even though they've literally just admitted that they've been lying for how many years? Okay. On the record, on the news. Okay. So watch out for what you hear on the news. I heard take it all with a grain of salt. And when they want to make you look right, you might want to be looking left. You understand? Distractions. Okay, so watch out for that. Emotional distractions that they bring up. Now, what is the message in regards to religions? Judgment. Okay, judgments. Oh, boy. So here's what's happening in regards to religious circles is that you're going to start seeing them opening up some of their policies and opening up. They've already, since I was younger, they were already opening up more to women. Okay. They're opening up more to alternative lifestyles and all these different ideas. But there's also this idea here that as people come into balance in their own duality, well, religion is being dismissed, because a lot of the religious organizations are promoting separatism as well. Because what happens when you get into this state of harmony in the, you know what they just showed me? Sorry, I meant to say something, but they just showed me something really important. What they showed me in the Two of Pentacles is talking about the two hemispheres of the brain. Two hemispheres of the brain, and they're showing me that's what the melding of the divine feminine, divine masculine energies is using both sides of your brain in harmony with one another. Now you're not, I heard bipolar. Now you're not bipolar. What the hell? Okay. In other words, now you're not working against yourself. Now you're not combating yourself so much when you find that harmony. What happens there is that people stop needing this outside validation. And what the religions provide for a lot of people is outside validation and accountability. But when one's attained to this energy, which got a source is saying is what's happening now, people find less and less need for that outside validation, outside accountability. They don't need somebody to come in and tell them what they need to do. They don't need somebody to tell them, hey, once a week, we need you to come in here, get dressed up, and present yourself to God. No, because they know that it doesn't matter how they dress, but they can do it every day, no matter where they're at, no matter what they're doing, and they're doing it as they're finding harmony within. That is actually a result of being in, I'm hearing communication with the divine. That's how this happens. That's how this happens. Getting the, okay, there's some divinity in that. Okay. So I just heard you're going to see a lot of churches closing and people losing their flocks and things like that because they're going to see that they don't need parts of it. Now, the other thing I'm hearing is certain religious organizations are going to come under a lot of scrutiny as their leaders are being found out for what they've been doing in secret, and more is revealed surrounding that. Okay, those secrets come out, and I hear it goes beyond what you already knew about, certain ones in positions abusing their positions to violate others' bodies and rights. It goes even beyond that, and as that is being revealed more and more, these religious organizations will come under judgment because they put themselves in a position where they, from their own, I'm hearing mission statements, so to speak, claim to help ones to be in tune with the divine. And as people are finding that the divine is in this inner harmony and balance with what's happening in you and in your world, there's going to be a lot less need for that religious approval, validation, and accountability. Like, it's a checks and balances system for a lot of people. A lot of people do want somebody to tell them what to do, which is why we started this off again talking about how you're independent thinker. You're an independent thinker. You don't need somebody to tell you what to do. And so there will be consequences and repercussions for the scams. I hear for the scams, the deceptions and the misleading that's gone on. All right. How is all of this going to affect our societies overall? Okay. What will we see happening in our societies as a result? We have the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is telling me that you're going to see people looking for something better. They're going to be very solution oriented. They're going to be looking for solutions. They're going to be looking for something different. They will have made a lot of choices as a result from all of this. But what you're going to see is a lot of people looking for something better, okay, looking for something to show up, looking for something to change, realizing that with all these changes to the major, what Gaia and with the political system and the religious system, they're going to be looking to see, okay, so what's next? Okay, they're going to be keeping an eye out, looking for something different in society. Okay, all right, and let's see how is this going to affect our humanity as humans. How is that going to affect our humanity? Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. I see that you're going to see a lot of people, I'm hearing, getting in touch with their golden energy. This is actually, I know this is the Ace of Pentacles, But this is talking about an awakening right now. So that's really different, because even though this is a pentacle, it's looking like the sun card right now to me. And it's looking like awakening. The gold energy speaks to conscious awareness and the knowing what the fuck is happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna have a lot of people who are gonna take this truth and run with it. I hear the truths that are coming out, the realities that have been existing, obscured, hidden, that are coming to light. You're gonna see a lot of people taking those awareness moments and experiences and then running forward with that in life, incorporating that into a new way of being, a new way of existing on this planet. And now this Ace of Pentacles just changed its message a little bit, not to negate anything that was said, but to add to the message. It went further and it said, yeah, so what you're going to see is a lot of people come with what they have in their hands to offer. So, you know, as they see that in society, there's waiting for something. People are waiting for something. And some ones are going to say, well, I have that. I have this. I have this. Let me offer this. So you're going to see people making offerings, okay, to be of assistance. Now, this goes back to what we're saying. Whenever some dark, ugly shit happens, there's always something beautiful that comes out of it. And so they're showing me the quote unquote natural disasters. Okay. Let me see if I can find what the name of it is. Hold on. One moment. HAARP, HAARP. Okay. So some of you might want to research what HAARP is. HAARP. So why? Because when these quote unquote natural disasters, it's really HAARP in action, happen, people suffer loss and they suffer tragedy, but then people step up. People step up to be supportive, to offer help, to offer relief. All these different things happen as a result of even those things going on. And then you can look at some of the more, we're going to quote unquote, again, evil actions taken by humans. And then look at all of the protection, the love, the healing that is offered by humans as their awareness is brought up to speed with what has happened. We can start with something recent like that. It was years ago now, a few years back, there was that gay club shooting in Miami, and that brought a lot of people to talking about, like, listen, we ain't gotta do what they do, but we ain't gotta kill them neither, okay, type of vibe. Then we could go a little bit further back to that whole, you know, the concentration camps in Auschwitz. That, you know, some people still say that shit never happened, but there's a whole lot of evidence that it did. And so then you have people just learning to be more tolerant of each other's differences, accepting of each other's differences. It's because they don't want to see these things happen again. So even when there's ugly stuff, the divine is so intelligent that it knows how to take whatever ugliness, whatever disgusting plan that any human or organization or entity has, and flip it into the best. And it's all set up in the way the laws of the universe work. Again, with the law of rhythm, what goes this way must go that way. It's like a pendulum swing. Okay. Bottom of the deck, we have the Star. Oh, is that Aquarius energy? Oh, is that the age of Aquarius energy? Yes, I heard yes. Okay. So let's go a little bit deeper into our message. I'm going to shuffle up this other deck I have here. What was this one called again? Oh, the Rosy Future Tarot. I remember the Rosy Future Tarot. I'm going to shuffle this one up and see what else we can gather about this message. So basically, overall, the message is saying, listen, you're an independent thinker, and independent thinkers are coming into this place, this state of harmony. Harmony within and harmony even in the world, okay? And it's like, are you a part of the world, or are you a part of the world? Because you can be in the world but not be a part of it. And then the question goes, which a part are you going to look at? Because they wrote it down a certain way as two words, a part. So there's this energy of you don't have to leave Gaia to be that elevated conscious being of love. You don't have to leave Gaia. You ain't got to leave Earth to be an angel. You could do it right here on Earth, but in order to attain that state of being, and some people just don't want to be that, and that's okay. But in order to attain that state of being, you're going to have to find the harmony within. Now, here's the cold pill to swallow: is listen, all those dark energies, entities, and experiences is what helps ones to realize their divine essence in the first place. Their divine nature in the first place gets highlighted by those who present the lack of it. Boy, if you're getting this, I'm so glad, because they're talking kind of complicated tonight. All right. Show me more about this Two of Pentacles over here, Love Source God. Your main message for us today was about the Two of Pentacles, and this seems to be you're telling us what's going on. And there's a shift in Earth, quantum leaping, timeline jumping, dimension shifting. Okay, and we did talk about that in the last download. And then it's also was speaking, this Two of Pentacles was speaking about the harmony between the spiritual mind and the ego mind, the divine masculine and divine feminine. What else can you reveal to us about this Two of Pentacles? I'm going to just move these cards out more so I can focus on that one for this moment. Okay, perfect. Thank you. What else can you reveal to me to channel through, please, about your message of the Two of Pentacles for this 1330 Sidereal Tarot? And it is 4:40, so the increase as remote viewing abilities is already up, okay? And in 14 minutes, we'll hit the peak. The Three of Swords, okay. So there's been a lot of realization, and it's interesting because they just told me there's a lot going on here right now that is unspoken. I'm just going to say that because it's too much. Three of Swords. There's a lot of realization about things about our physical world that going to bring up a lot of emotions, People will feel hurt. I trusted in my government. I trusted in my religious leaders. I trusted in these politicians. I trusted that this was how the world worked. I trusted in my this, that, and the other. Okay, there's going to be a lot of hurt feelings behind realizations of things that have been going on and are coming into light. Now, over here we have the Page of Pentacles. I heard all this is going to bring new spiritual visions in, new spiritual awareness in, the desire for new things. This disappointment is going to spur the desire for some better stuff in the future. Once they get over the hump of the pain of the realization, I heard the shock of the realization. The shock of the realization. The shock of the realization is Two of Swords. Yeah, see, and this person even has an angry look on their face as they hold the globe in their hand. Oh, man. And some people, that's a big thing that's out there too right now. Some people talking about flat earth a lot. That's not my main point of focus. That's not part of my purpose to really dig into that so much. But I wouldn't be surprised if some documents hit about the truth being revealed about that at this point. So we have this person who's upset, and this is they're relating this to humans in general. People gonna be upset Because as they looking at, but this is what you told me the world was about. This is what I always believed the world was about. Now I'm grown up. I'm this many years old. And now you're telling me that that was not true. Now it's coming to light that that was a lie. That was a deception. A lot of people are going to be moved to make that different choice. And that's where this Page of Pentacles sits in. Okay. What else can you show us about this Two of Pentacles, please? And what do we have? Seven of Wands. One of the things you're going to see is some of you who already knew this stuff, you're going to have people lining up who you've talked to about some of these ideas to see what else you fucking know, because you were right. The other side of this is, because there's duality in these tarot cards too. The other side of this is you're going to have ones who believe it and ones who are going to be very resistant to it because it's too far from their accepted truth. They haven't accepted truth. The truth as they have come to know it is what their brain has accepted as their reality. And so some people, you're going to find the ones that they're not going to want to believe it. They're not going to want to believe in the change. You're not going to want to believe the information that comes out. So I see a splitting even in humanity amongst the people's mentalities. The ones who see it, they believe it, they know it. And then the ones who don't buy into what is being revealed because it's way too far out of their, it's way too far from what they have accepted to be their truth. Okay. Give me just a moment. I'm looking at these cards and see what else it wants to say. What else do you want to say about this source? I heard right now you're still in a time where a lot of people are figuring stuff out right now. They're still in this stage where they're figuring out that everything isn't what they always thought it was their whole damn life long. Okay. And then I just heard Rihanna. So I don't know if that's a celebrity or somebody who's watching this, your name. If that is there. Okay. And this change in the world, this has to do with the people who occupy prominent roles in our society on earth as well. That, you know, I mean, some people are going to be so heartbroken when they find out their favorite political leader, religious leader, their favorite celebrity was involved in some shit. And it's going to break their heart because they have supported this person time and time again. And as the reality comes out about some of the things that they do, these people are not going to want to. I mean, that's going to be heartbreaking for them. They're not going to want to see their favorite celebrities, their favorite prominent figures shown in that light. And that is also part of why there's going to be a rift between ones who can accept it and ones who can't accept the truth. Now, Gaia's message was the Hierophant. Gaia said she's teaching some lessons. Okay. Gaia said that she's in spiritual authority here. So let's see. What else can you reveal about Gaia here? We have the Six of Wands. So Gaia was pushing towards a higher vibration for some time. And what I heard was critical mass was breached, which meant that there was enough support from that from humanity. I heard plant life and animal life as well. It involved all those realms of life. because the spirit was always in support, but there was enough support from humanity, plant life, and animal life in order to breach that critical mass so that Gaia has elevated its vibration. Okay. And that's coming out with Ace of Cups, self-love energy. Self-love energy. I heard peace like a dove, the Holy Communion, Christ's consciousness flowing, okay? And then we have the Five of Wands. So this is, okay, this is 5 cards. Okay, so the 5 of Wands, challenges, difficulties, contenders. I heard war and famine. That's what I heard, war and famine. And then the King of Cups being manipulated. Wow, fucking shit. Gaia says the war and famine is being manipulated by the political ruling parties. Yeah. But Gaia says don't worry about these things because with this magician here, their secrets are coming out to the light. Okay, their secrets are coming out into the light. All that, there's a victory behind all of that. Okay, interesting. So the King of Cups is manipulating the war and famine. Now, they just showed me this movie. Some of y'all might have seen it, but it's the series Left Behind. It was a book series. They made movies. And I think there's 3 movies and another one coming out. I don't know. And then there was a remake of it, but the remake left a lot of the stuff out from the original version. And in that, the goal of the Antichrist was to take control of the food resources for people as well. So that's interesting. All right, let me see. What else can you show me? What does Gaia want to tell us? Ace of Pentacles is here. So now we have the Ace of Pentacles again. Okay. Give me just a minute to sit with this. I heard the spirit of giving is going to raise. The spirit of giving will raise because less people were going to be in that lack and limitation mentality. As more people draw from the infinite resources that are available to them from their very throat box, their voice box in their throat, thank you, their voice box, their throat chakra, thank you, you're going to find a lot more spirit of giving. And I heard in honor of that, we're giving you some gifts. And she's saying that's what those quartz crystals coming up out of the ground are. And she's saying, Gaia is also saying there's a lot more places where quartz crystals are coming out of the ground. You just ain't found them yet. That one was right in your face, though, because that was right in the road. But there's places, I heard unactivated areas of the matrix, because nobody's looking there yet, where all sorts of stuff is coming out of the ground. I heard Gaia's even, okay, so Gaia says, I'm even pushing the evidence out of the ground. And when I said pushing the evidence out of the ground, it's giving me the vibe of like hidden people. You know how people try to hide their shit, like they kill, so they try to bury bodies, and they do deceptive things, and they try to hide the evidence. Gaia is saying, I'm pushing all that up because it got to be cleaned out. And Gaia is showing it to me like somebody who really want to clean their fish tank. They got to get in there and get everything from down in between the rocks. There's a bunch of poop down there too that's been sitting in that fish tank. So that's how Gaia is showing it to me, like that. The shit sitting at the bottom of the tank. Everything got to get cleaned up. So Gaia showing me I'm pushing a bunch of stuff out. You're going to see beautiful things and horrific things being pushed out of the ground. Now, does that include volcanic eruptions, I'm asking? In some cases, absolutely. Yeah, of course. Okay. Because there's a lot of stuff in the earth that should have never been there. And as I've raised my vibration, those things no longer align with me, and therefore they must be expelled. Okay. She goes, but I'm not giving it all to you without any help. Hence, you'll find the crystals coming out. because the quartz crystals are purifying. They're purifying. Okay. Quartz crystals are Gaia's salt of the earth, I heard. All right. Let me see what else is a message from Gaia for our 1330 Sidereal session. What do we have here? The star. And we had the star at the bottom here. Yes. Okay. This had to do with a lot of people. So a lot of people have been looking at their emotional healing, looking at emotional mastery. And this age of Aquarius is going to give people a lot of that. And the thing is, the ones that have already been doing that to get in tune with emotional intelligence, combine that with their soul, and all of that has contributed to the healing, deeply contributed to the healing. This was all destined to take place. I heard this was all destined to take place long before we knew that eventually this would happen. We just did not know when. We did not know when this would happen, but we knew it would happen. It's in destiny. Okay. I'm hearing something about it started when people, interesting. So from Gaia's experience, what Gaia is saying is, from my experience, for me, it started when people started really working to protect Earth. And Gaia, like this huge, giant, divine entity, energy, is thought it was just so touching. Oh, they want to protect me. Bless their hearts. Bless their hearts. Look at, they want to protect me now. I heard it's like an ant wants to protect a human. And we're not talking about Ant-Man for all you Marvel comic people. We're talking about an ant wants to protect a human. Interesting. But just like those ants can lift, uh, 500 times their body weight, something like that. You humans did so much, and Gaia was touched. And this went back. Certain ones started doing it in the 50s, and it went bigger and deeper in the 60s, and then more in the 70s, and the 80s, and it's continued to progress and grow. But she's taking me back to big time. In the 60s and the 70s, when it really started, those intentions were having an effect. So that made this a most likely, this where we're at now, ultimate, what, eventuality. Thank you. An ultimate eventuality. Not most likely, but an ultimate eventuality. It's like it was inevitable. An inevitability. Thank you. An inevitability. Okay, what else from Gaia? What else do you want to say, Gaia, for this 1330 Sidereal message? Okay, Gaia wants to say strength. While you're looking for things to improve and you're looking for the best, stay in your power. Make sure you keep doing things that keep you in alignment. Be true to who you are and trust in the divine. I'm hearing, and trust in the divine. Okay, because you've got what it takes to make it through whatever is coming. Okay, and that's the way I'm hearing, whatever is coming. Let me see this King of Cups in reverse in regards to political situation. What Gaia and what source wants to reveal about the political situation. They were talking about emotional manipulation and propaganda. And now we have the truth. Spirit is making sure, because so what you don't know is where these cards are laying in proximity to the focus card is giving me a lot of message. Spirit is making sure in this corner right here. So this side of it is spirit. The bottom is physical. The left is emotional. Top is mental. The right is spirit. Because it landed on this corner, touching the physical and mainly from spirit. Spirit is revealing the truth in the physical world about these manipulations, about this propaganda, about this fear mongering, about these tactics, about the shit that's been going on. Spirit's revealing the truth. Okay. What else about the political? And so this is the truth about the political arena. Okay. What else can you say? What else can you reveal for us? What's the most we can know about what's going on in this political arena right now? Because there are certain things that cannot be revealed to us where we're at right now. Okay. The 10 of Wands in reverse, laying down the burdens, honey, laying down the burden. You're going to see a lot of people as these lies are exposed, as the truth is being made clear about how politics has no problem with lying to you for many decades in a row, to suit their own agendas. You're going to find a lot of people less inclined to participate, less inclined to yield to the politicals. So you're going to find, no, it's not, I'm not seeing complete abandonment and lawlessness of the politics system, but I'm seeing it to a certain degree. Yeah, I am. So it's like people are still going to obey red lights and green lights and shit like that, but they're not necessarily going to go and try to get involved in the political arena because they see the futility of it, as they see that the politics is going to do what politics wants to do and really don't give a fuck about what people want, which is their truth. Okay. All right. Interesting. Let me see what else can you show us about this political arena. With the King of Cups in reverse, the propaganda, the emotional manipulation. The Fool came out and it's in reverse. And hold on, I'm holding the deck in reverse again, but it stayed in the deck. So I'm going to fix that. We have the Lovers over here. So this is what they want you to know is this balance is happening on Earth for humanity. Had nothing to do with the choice of the political leaders, and they don't want you to know that that is a choice for you. Okay. Interesting, because the Lovers is in reverse, so that's a false contract. So a lot of people's gonna see a lot of false contracts within the political system. Okay. All right, what else? The King of Pentacles stays in my hand, so I'm gonna flip that over and put it back. We have the Six of Swords here. All right. Yeah, people are just going to be like, what the fuck is the point of getting involved in that when they're not trustworthy anyways? Can't trust in them. And a lot of people are going to be very upset because they have family members who lost their lives, whose families were destroyed, whose careers were destroyed, because whose health was destroyed. And oh boy, oh, that's going to be such a mess. I also heard you're going to find out which ones of them did not commit suicide but were actually murdered. Somewhere there's a document that's going to be released. Something's going to be said in court. I heard, and which organization was responsible for that. Okay, it's definitely one of those 3-letter things, but they're saying that a lot is going to be revealed about all the atrocities that have been kept in order to keep the political arena flowing and going on their agenda. Okay. And so what you're going to find is a lot of people are not going to want to get involved in the situation. But I see that there's somebody who's going to be guided right into the situation. There's somebody who's going to be guided into the political arena by the divine. They're showing me Esther. Okay, they're showing me Esther. So if you don't know the Bible story about Esther, Esther was the prettiest of all the Israelites. And the king was looking for a wife. And they didn't know that she was an Israelite when he picked her and married her. But when he was setting out to destroy her people, she revealed who she was, and she was able, by her political position, to protect her people. So there's somebody who Spirit is guiding to get into the political arena because it is so full of bullshit. And this person is going to be in a perfect position to either expose some truth, work with Spirit in some sort of way, or work for the people in some sort of way. Okay, this is interesting. And this could be at the point where I'm seeing this happening at the point where humanity and society in general is most disillusioned with it at all. Okay, because in these revealings, it's gonna come out that it's not just one government that's been doing this. All the governments of the world have all done this. Okay, and now we have the Ace of Wands in reverse, and this is saying, yeah, politics is going to lose some of its stronghold. So there's that. Ace of Wands in reverse. That don't work. It's not happening. What they thought they were doing, it doesn't work. It was a false start. Okay. That's a false start that went on for a long time. Let me just throw that out there, source. Okay, but yeah. The underhanded dealings. And this is in the physical realm. So there's gonna be a lot of people that's just gonna reject the political systems. Let me see about this religious institutions. How's this? What's the message source about these religious institutions? They got the Judgment card. Okay, talking about how they're gonna be exposed and have to answer. Yeah, the moon, the secrets that they have kept, the illusions that they have perpetrated. Coming out into the light, and as people coming into their intuitive power. Look at her, she's gorgeous, right? As people coming into their intuitive power, the way it laid right here across this judgment, those religious societies and organizations are going to find themselves obsolete. Okay, I'm hearing empty pews. When they understand that Jesus Christ has already returned and lives within them, they might stop going to the place where that is supporting all these lies with the political system. So that's one of the things, is that the religious organizations have been a strong arm of the political system to keep the people in check. That's what I just heard with that Queen of Wands, how it laid. Let's see what else can you reveal to us about the religious orders that are out there. All right, laying right on the moon, face down. Let's see what it is. Justice. Did I not tell you there's going to be justice over these religious organizations for their underhanded dealings? There were religious organizations. Hold on. Religious organizations were to submit to the divine authority. That's how religion started, to work with the divine, not to be a slave to the politicians and work with the politicians. They're all work together for the same, I heard, the same underhanded, the same deceptive entities and energies. All right. What else can you reveal about these religious organizations, please? And thank you. So a lot of people have been feeling a spiritual lack. Okay, so here's one of the things that's happening. Some people are, even though everything we already said is true, those who are not yet in their divine empowerment and authority through their own wholeness are going to, as they learn about these deceptions in the political system, they're going to turn to the religious organizations to save them, help them make, please make it make sense. They're going in there saying, make it make sense, but that's going to leave them still, as more stuff is revealed, right? Wanting more, it's still going to leave them wanting. They're still going to be wanting because they're not going to get the answers. They're not going to get what they're looking for there. I see the religious organizations are going to try to disassociate themselves from what the political organizations have done. They're going to try to distance themselves from that. I heard that's not going to work because there's too much evidence that aligns them right there. Too much evidence that aligns them right there. That's another thing I heard. Okay. And then the other thing, oh, wow. The other thing that I'm hearing is with the religious organizations is there's going to be some sort of accountability about why are all your parishioners can't afford shoes, a place to live or whatever, but you got this, big old mansion and all this shit. So anywhere where there's that financial imbalance where the people are going broke, homeless, and starving, living impoverished in order to feed the religions, people are going to stop that and they're going to ask for some accountability. I heard demand, and we have the Eight of Cups. Again, I see people walking away to go get what they want because they're seeing that they're not getting justice in the religious arenas as well. And now the other thing I'm hearing too with this, it just cut in. Even within the New Age community, some of the limiting thoughts and beliefs that have been perpetrated are going to be discovered. And so so what's happening is there's this big old rabbit hole opening about being in your divine, authentic nature, which is empowered. Not disempowering yourself by giving your power away to a practice, a ceremony, an item, etc. All those things are involved in that as well. Okay. So with society's message, we had the Three of Wands come out for society. So let's see. What can you show me about how our societies would be influenced and all? They're going to be looking for something better. They're going to be looking for some solutions. They're going to be looking for how do we come together? How do we do this differently? People are going to get there. I saw the wheels start spinning, like the cogs and the gears that are all coming together, starting to spin a little bit differently. Okay. We're looking to work together. How can we work together to overcome these challenges and difficulties that we're facing now that we can't depend on our religious organizations or our political organizations? Let's see, what else can you reveal? Show me more about this Three of Wands regarding society. Something flipped over. It stayed in the deck. What is it? What flipped over and stayed in the deck is the Ten of Cups, and it's facing the Two of Pentacles. Interesting, because they wanted me to show what was it facing. Now, the Two of Pentacles was Source's message that we're at the Two of Pentacles right now. Major change is happening to bring in harmony. So a lot of society is going to be looking for happiness and harmony within, because the things that they depended on to provide that to them, it's just not working. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles is up here, and it's to the right, and it's on the message of Gaia. So I see what I'm hearing is people are going to be, one of the things that's going to be interesting people is how do we take care of our families and detach from these organizations that we cannot rely on, that we cannot depend on, because they have no truth in them. They're nothing but deceptive. They're all propaganda. Propaganda, illusions, and deceptions, I heard. So people are going to look for, how do we take care of our families? How do we live our life? So I heard bartering could become a real thing again. I heard in some small circles it already is. But bartering could become a really big thing again. And I heard there's this, it's not credit the way we know it, but the only word that I have for it is credit. It's like, and I'm hearing promissory note, something like that. There's some sort of, people are going to come up with a solution on how to, basically what I'm seeing is leave these monetary systems from these deceptive things alone, because if we don't use their currency, we're not supporting their flow of energy. Oh, snap. That's kind of deep. But this is what's going to be happening in society. Now, they may not see it exactly that way, and they might, but that's what I heard. So let's see. Show me more about this Three of Wands. And there's the Ten of Cups again, flipping out, staying in the deck. Again, so people are going to be looking. Now, what card was it facing this time? Let's see. This time it was facing the Page of Cups. So this Ten of Cups goes to Page of Cups. So people are like, yeah, we looking for how to create solutions, how to create harmony, how to create peace, how to get that happiness for our family, the stability for our family, what they want, how to have fun, how to enjoy life, how to do all these things as their world is changing. I heard as the world turns, the old freaking soap opera came up. Okay, what is this? The Four of Wands is here. The Four of Wands is here. And it's in reverse. I see also a lot of people are going to want to get off the grid. I see more people getting off the grid, living independently. I see people moving out of big cities, not wanting to be in the big city because the big city is going to attach a lot of those people that are not independent thinkers. So a lot of the independent thinkers are going to want to move out of big cities is one of the things I'm seeing. Okay. I'm also seeing that with this Four of Wands in reverse, people are understanding, that they don't want to be involved in anymore, because they're also realizing by supporting these different institutions, they were supporting the dirty shit that was going on underneath the surface, right? All this hidden shit that was going on. I am not holding this deck in reverse, and now we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. I had to look because that's another card that flipped itself in reverse. Now we have the Nine of Swords in reverse coming out. People are going to lose the fear of the political authorities. And that's going to be looking really interesting. In other words, again, I don't see like Mad Max, but what I see is like people moving about their life. And, if Susie makes pies, she's going to sell her fucking pies. She's not going to go down to the city office, get a business license, and worry about all these things. She's going to worry about that her kitchen is clean and her packaging is clean, and that she charges a fair price for her pies so she could take care of her family, type of thing. I see that here, okay? Where it's like, if you have it, you do it instead of worrying about the bureaucracy and the red tape. And now we have another card going right over there again, and it's Temperance. And being at peace with that. I heard him being at peace with that. People are just looking for a way to be at peace, live, and take care of their families. That's what you're going to see, because they're going to understand that, there's a lot of stuff. And anywhere where they were afraid of stuff, it's like that fear is going to be something that they're able to get over now in some sort of way. I see people getting over the fear of not following what these people tell them to do in these organizations. Okay, show me more about this Three of Wands, the effects of these situations in our societies. Now we have this one here. And we have the Empress. Yeah, see, society is going to be looking for more loving ways to coexist and create healthy experiences. Again, I keep hearing for their families. At the end of the day, people who live here, they want to enjoy life with the people that they care for. And when I say families, I'm not necessarily talking about blood relations. I mean, I just posted, I love you, sister, and she and I have no blood relation, but that's my sister, okay? So here we go. Let's see what else about this Three of Wands and the effects on society of this, what's going on. The Six of Cups. I heard a return to pure innocence, a return to innocence, and there's that giving energy. So they're saying, let's go ahead and move on to the next card about how humanity, what's this going to do for our humanity? There's that caring energy. People are going to begin to care about people more. Hey, how you guys doing? So they're showing me a documentary series that I watched about Alaska and the natives that live there. And you know what? There was this part where they were hunting a walrus. I think it was a walrus that they caught. And boy, it took the whole village to pull that walrus up. It took the whole village to cut it up. And it took the whole village to transport it back. And you know what they did with it? They fed the whole village. They did not put it in a store. They just fed the whole village. with it. They made sure that the elderly who couldn't participate in the hunt in any way, shape, or form were fed. They took care of each other. So I see this energy in our societies where people are going to be more inclined to, hey, I got 6 flower pots. Would you like one? You know what I'm saying? I got 6 of these. I don't need 6 of them. I really only needed one. So I'm trying to give these 5 away. Maybe you can use them. And it's showing me now. They just showed me my brother when he was living here in Las Vegas. He had the lemon tree in his backyard. And some of you know I'm growing one of the babies from his lemon tree in my nail studio right now as we speak. It's been growing. It's getting so tall. Quentin's like, it's almost tall as I am now. But I'm still taller. Anyways, point is, when his lemon tree would come in to ripe fruit, there was so many lemons. Everybody that knew him got a bag full of lemons because he had so many lemons. There was no way he could eat them all. One of the things I just heard is you're going to find people planting fruit trees and vegetables right at the edge of their yard because they know that if they plant food. Wow. And that's part of what's going to get this political system is going, it's headed for some major reform. I'm hearing major political reform because people need to be allowed to provide food. And why is it illegal in some places for people to grow their own food? But I see that that's not going to be the case. People are going to, whatever grows in their region, I'm seeing them planting it. I'm seeing them planting it, and I'm seeing them planting it in a way to where there's enough for them and their family, but for the other families to, take what they need. And now they're showing me from the Bible. I want to say it was like either Numbers or Deuteronomy, where it talked about the rules, the spiritual rules that God gave the Israelites about farming. And God told them that you had to farm your land for so many years. I think it was 6 years. And then on the 7th year, it had to rest. The land had to rest, if I remember correctly. And they also had the rule that you could not clean your crop completely. You had to leave some for the less fortunate people to glean. What did they say for the widows and the motherless children? Something like that. It says, I can't quote it word for word, but there was actual scriptures in the Bible that told people that when they cleaned and they took in their harvest, they were to leave some for the people that didn't have. Some people didn't have farm land, and they didn't have the means, and they didn't have a way to get stuff. So these farmers were given divine instruction to leave some for those who don't have. So again, giving us that idea of sharing. Now let's look at this Ace of Pentacles on how this affects humanity. Humanity is going to have a huge Christ consciousness awakening. We also receive from the Ace of Pentacles that they're going to take the gift that they have in their hands to share. The Knight of Wands is coming out in reverse. You're going to see people be doing things from divine inspiration. I'm hearing they're going to get divine ideas on what to do and where to go, and they're going to make that happen. Okay, and I also see people not playing so many games. People are going to be more interested in making real long-term offers, especially when it comes to interpersonal relationships. In other words, we live in a society now where, let me tell you, I know my neighbors upstairs and I know my neighbor in front of me. A lot of people don't even know that many neighbors, but I don't know the other person catty corner. I don't know the person that shares the back wall, and I don't know any of the people in any of the other buildings here. So there's this energy of people not being so guarded to where they don't interact with one another anymore, and they're going to have that inspiration come from within on what they have to share and what they have to give. And when they make connections with people, because so much has become unstable in what they thought was stable, and they find these people, they're going to be connecting with other. It's like everybody who's sharecropping. I heard sharecropping, or sharing their crops, or sharing their harvest, or sharing their fruit that they produce. They're going to be working together. They're going to be working together, and they're going to form. I'm seeing strong bond, lasting relationships with these ones. Okay, because like even since I've grown up, I'm only 45, but even since I've grown up, when I was a kid, the neighbor's house and my house, like all of us kids ran back and forth in everybody's house. You gotta understand. And it wasn't just theirs. I had other friends on the backside of the alley. All of us kids, we was always allowed in everybody's house. We ate food at each other's house. We played at each other's house, stuff like that. More community oriented, but they're showing me specifically around those people who have this awakening. Because you're going to see, I hear more people coming together in small groups. I see wealthy people who have the ability to purchase multifamily properties, condos, apartment buildings, old hotels, stuff like that. I see them moving in and living cooperatively with others who benefit the collective that they live with. It's interesting. It's like we all work our garden together. On Monday, it's these people's turn to tend to the garden, and this is what needs to be done on Mondays, and Tuesdays it's their turn, type of stuff. And I'm not just seeing the gardens, I'm seeing farm animals, chickens and eggs. Chickens and eggs, baby. I'm seeing chickens and eggs. I'm seeing a return to more natural, off the grid living styles. And again, I see people who have this mentality and the wealth to support the idea of like-minded communities of people who actually care about their neighbors and want to support a community. Whatever happened to the mentality of it takes a village to raise a child? Well, that is making a return in this, is what I see. Let me see what else. Okay. And again, that's going back to this card that we had to make. Be in the world, but not a part of it. This is how some people will be in the world and not a part of that, but also still be a part of this. You understand? Okay. Interesting. Now, let's see what else came out over here. We had the 10 of Cups come out. 10 of Cups come out. Interesting. So people are going to be taking their beliefs more home. I've heard stories that, way back in the pioneer days, a lot of kids, they did a lot of stuff at home. They learned a lot at home. I see a lot of the religious, the spiritual, the divine teachings being shared with the family. And then these families coming together to share what they know. Different ones have different talents and different abilities that they're more easily access, and teaching this to the children, teaching this Christ consciousness to the children in an organized fashion that looks nothing like the old religious order. Okay, let's see what else. The Fool. Well, that's telling me people are, they're going to be in a position where you're going to have to start doing shit differently. Things are going to be different. Things are going to be different. I heard it. What's that man's name? Oh, I can't remember. Is it Robert Lee, Bobby Lee? I don't know. But this man, he is, he's a speaker. He talks about money. And one of the things he talks about is not just money. He talks about assets. One of the things that's coming up is your non-physical assets, your reputation with people, the quality of your relationships is one of your most valuable assets. He talked about how when he was in college, he lived, I think he said for a year. He lived for a year homeless just by staying with different friends who knew his situation and took him in for a period of time. And he talked about the most valuable thing you have is your personal relationships. Those personal relationships are everything. Absolutely. And so you're going to see people, again, this lends itself to what was already coming through. You're going to see a lot more people taking them personal relationships a lot more seriously and investing in those, walking away from the old ways of me first. It's all about me only. No, it's about me and you and us, because, we thrive together. Yeah. Yeah, I see people having a different perspective as this Christ consciousness becomes active in their everyday lifestyle, is what I'm hearing. One more card about how this affects humanity. Okay, the cooperation. Here we go. 3 of Pentacles. Cooperation. I know how to do this. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and let's get together. Since you don't know how to do it and you don't know how to do it, how about we all get together and I'll show you guys how to do it. Hey, there's a fucking thought. Not first, you have to go qualify for this loan. Then you got to go sign up with that organization and hope that they accept you. And then you got to weed through all the unnecessary shit to get to learn what you actually came to learn. Oh, you mean all that extra shit is going to be out the window and we're going to get to offer our skills, talents, and abilities to one another to benefit us all? I mean, that's pretty cool. So let's see what's at the bottom of the deck here. And there's the sun. Didn't I tell you that Ace of Pentacles was looking at the sun? After all this shuffling, we have the sun coming out. And this is definitely a confirmation that what Source wanted to talk about was there's going to be a lot more harmony. There's going to be a lot more peace. As there's more peace within, that peace is growing and spreading. And it has everything to do with Christ consciousness. Wherever you're at with it, it's growing. Okay. And bringing it into our everyday life, and how us doing that is exposing all the deceptions, all the lies, all the propaganda, all the misleading information, all the BS, okay, that has oppressed and suppressed consciousness, love, and humanity, and even abused. They were given authority to rule for a time. Even the Bible has a scripture that talked about how the devil was given authority to rule for a time. And then it will be the 1,000-year reign of the Christ. Consciousness is the way I've been seeing it. And so we're at the beginning of that energy, is the way Spirit is showing me. The rule of and you got to remember, in the spirit world, in the Bible, it says a day for a year, a day for a year, a day for a year. Okay. So when it says 1,000-year reign of Christ consciousness, that's talking about a lot longer than any of our lifetimes. If a day for a year, right? I don't think that's a literal physical human 1,000 years. I think that 1,000 years, from what Spirit is showing me, what I'm perceiving, that 1,000 years is a day for a year. It's going to go on perpetually for so long, okay, before the next major shift happens with humanity. But this is huge. Christ consciousness is going to set in, and it's going to work a lot of great things as it does. But we're still getting out of the rule of the dark. He was given the authority to rule over earth for a period of time. Okay? And who is that devil? Remember, the devil is not got a fucking pitchfork and horns and hoof claws. I know some of you have seen some entities that present themselves that way, but the devil, oh man, is energy that thrives off of fear, violence, anger, all of your lower vibrational emotions and actions. Okay. So although that has ruled on earth for a time, this age of Aquarius that has already jump started is picking up the momentum of the age of Christ consciousness, honey. That's what